No one was ever removed. They are all still right there where they were buried, usually right where they fell.
We have 12 Continental soldiers, 1 Loyalist militiaman, and 1 British soldier from the 71st Regiment of Foot, Fraser's Highlanders.
It was a very hard fight and protracted. The musket fire must have gone on for upwards of 45 minutes at close range before the British were finally able to outflank the Americans and win a decisive victory.
We think we know history. We read about it, we study it, we tour it. But what we can't do is go back in time and live it. Mission History will get you close. We'll travel through world history to bring you the stories of legendary military leaders, epic campaigns, and secret missions that remained hidden for years. And we begin with a story of timely importance, the story of the armies who fought in the American Revolutionary War, because the caretakers of one of the battlefields were recently forced to make a rare and difficult decision.
Some of the men may not have been buried at all, and some who were buried were so shallow that portions of their bodies certainly stuck out of the ground.
The Battle of Camden was fought in a forest of pine trees outside the small town of Camden, South Carolina, and the battlefield is one of the few that has not been lost to modern development, but it has still suffered from nearly 250 years of farming and industry and natural erosion. And the graves of some of the soldiers who fell in the battle were in danger of destruction. In the fall of 2022, the Historic Camden Foundation and South Carolina Battleground Trust worked with forensic archeologists to recover the remains of the soldiers whose graves were in jeopardy of being destroyed.
And when these bodies were taken out of the ground, they were carefully removed. Somebody would say a few words over the remains. Somebody would offer a prayer, and then anybody on the team who was a veteran would escort the remains to the coroner's van.
I felt a kinship. It certainly choked me up a few times to think if there's a family tree of veterans, they're at the very top of it, and I'm at the bottom of it.
Retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Stacy Ferguson was part of the small team that performed the painstaking excavation.
You read about it, but it doesn't really hit home until we started unearthing these veterans to give them a more proper, dignified burial. I don't think I've worked on anything quite so important in my life.
In April 2023, 14 soldiers from 2 nations will be reburied with full military honors in once-in-a-lifetime ceremonies, and we'll be there to witness the historic event. Mission History will take you to Camden to hear from the men and women who rescued the remains of the fallen soldiers. We'll take you back in time to America in the 1770s to explore the birth of a new nation. We'll follow the path of a conflict with a focus on 2 units, one from America and one from Scotland, who fought in nearly every major engagement. You'll hear the experiences of the top generals, the battlefield commanders, and the men and women on the front lines. From the cities of Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, to the fields and swamps of the Carolinas and Georgia, it's the story of the American Revolutionary War. From Black Barrel Media and QCODE, follow Mission History wherever you're listening now.